Good morning, everybody. I think it's time for a bit of the old lockdown series of videos, and by all means, send me a swing and we'll have a bit of fun, a bit of analysis if you like. You can chuck it on the gram if you want. But in this little video here, I'm just going to cover sort of the preferences that I have in the golf swing and the things I like to see. And if you're going to use someone, you may as well use yourself, right? So here we are on my back lawn. Just got home from taking Doggy for a walk. She always loves to try and catch one of these every bloody time. Not ideal. And then Bob's is actually asleep off camera over there in the pram. Anyways, golf swing time. So as we kind of get into the golf swing, let's try and matchy these two swings up, shall we? So we can get them at pretty ready to the points, and I can explain to you what I reckon's good. And I'd love to have your feedback. So as we go back, set up. Basic stuff, elbows, armpits over midfoot, nothing too special there, knees touching that, arms hanging nice and loose, nothing too crazy here on this one here. The video's kind of at that point, it's kind of already started the swing, but I do like a little bit of a pressure shift that goes forward first at address, and then that'll everything work back together, kind of a little lateral shift, nothing too crazy. But as we get into that takeaway move, we get to about here in the golf swing, so what we'd call P2, and the club is just about a parallel. This is kind of when I like to see the most amount of pressure kind of chilling on that trail foot. It's certainly when you can have the most amount of weight moved back. Not a massive slide, but certainly load into that right side. I do like to have the club face matching the spine angle at this point and a little bit outside the hands. Obviously easier to do with this as a wedge in particular. And then from there, as we get halfway back, or P3, when the lead arm is parallel with the ground, I do like to have that shaft chilling out just inside the golf ball, sort of anywhere in between here, to be honest, to be good, but that's my preference, it's just inside the golf ball. And I do like the hands to be pretty much down the center line of the spine. We'll leave that shaft line there anyway so you can see what happens next, and we'll make a little circle, where the hands are. Cool. And also here for that point there, so it just helps you kind of, let's get back to there. So you can see that'd be my little lateral shift. That's as much lateral as I like. Not much is there, it's more just a turn on the spot. And then from there, that's pretty much the end of my backswing. From here, my downswing is starting to begin, believe it or not. So as the club starts to get towards the top of the backswing, the pressure has already started shifting. I should have my mat on, but my weight has already started moving forward. Slowly but surely, my pressure has already started moving forward pretty much from this point on. And I like to have a little wee touch of a lateral shift. Not too much rotation. I don't really want to see that happening too quickly. Just more of a lateral shift into my lead side. Kind of working away from there, but towards the target, if that makes any sense. And at the same time, as that's all shenanigans going on here, you'll see here the shaft is just shallowing out just that little bit. So we get back down to that halfway down point. Let's get them both matched up once more. Yeah, about there, coach. Cool, you can see how the butt of the club's almost in exactly the same place as it was, but the shaft is certainly shallowed now to be outside the golf ball. Why do I like that? Well, generally when that club shaft's got this action going on, it's a lot easier, or it encourages you, may find it a lot easier to kind of actually stay in posture or tilt. When that steepens, if that shaft went the other way, I would then have to stand up to shallow the shaft. So when the shaft gets shallowed just that little bit, in other words, when it's going from this angle up and then shallows, it just allows me at the same time here, you can still see that I'm literally drifting and sitting into it at that same point. So I've increased this angle here, shallowed the club behind me there, and at the same time got my pressure to work forward. You can see here I've moved off that line. My lower half is now here. So those sort of three things are all happening at once. Kind of complicated, perhaps, but those are kind of little magic moves I love at the start of the downswing. And then from there, it's pretty easy. If I manage to get all those going on there, I can get to work into my next couple of favourite little spots. When the club shaft kind of gets through that trail elbow there, I love it when it's just going right through that trail forearm. Face is slightly squaring up, which is great. Pressure's certainly all ankle, knee and hip have all lined up now, which is a couple of points I do enjoy. Dog's getting ready to try and knock itself out. Get down to here, shaft parallel again. I personally still try and like hitting draws because I'm not quite powerful enough to probably hit a power fade. I haven't got quite enough club head speed, unfortunately. So it's a good spot there. I do like it toe slightly ahead of heel, so the face is kind of matching up towards my spine tilts. It's a little closed. I don't want to have my toe up at the sky at that point. Then I'm going to have to push. I don't want to push. I want to push draw. And you can see the club's just fractionally behind my hands. And then we get down into, let's have a look at a little impact posse. At this point here, boom. Impact alignments. Obviously a little bit of forward shaft lean is good. I still got quite a quiet right heel, as you can see, kind of a Tony Finau kind of shenanigan going on there, which is fine, especially with the wedge. As I get quicker and quicker, that starts to come off the ground earlier. You can now see my left butt cheek has appeared behind that line there. Right arm is still underneath the left. I can just barely see the top of my left arm, which I do like. Shoulders are square, hips are a little open. Again, this is a wedge, so everything's going to be a little bit more violent with driver. We can put one of those up. It'll be entertaining. And then post-impact, something I've certainly worked pretty hard on over time to get rid of my rotational flip, more square face release. So there, you can see the club face has certainly rolled over quite a bit. And then as we get to the next spot here, when the club exits, certainly under shoulder plane, so it's coming through the midriff, and you can see there the club face is nice and square. It has not rolled over at all. So that's beautiful right there, that release of the face. And then obviously just kind of staying in posture there into a nice balanced finish. So there's a couple of feels and the movements I love to certainly see in my own swing. Pity I'm not an Olympic athlete. It'd be good to be able to do all these movements at ridiculously quick speeds, but she's a work in progress, that's for certain. Love to hear your feedback on it, and by all means, flick me through your swing if you want me to have a look. Be a bit of fun. Alright, ciao for now.